The opioid epidemic has forced thousands of parents across the country to bury their own children. It's a crisis that's so devastating, some local funeral homeowners are saying enough is enough. And you can read the entire story in today's Daily Herald, and Marie Wilson from the Herald is here to tell us more about it. And Marie, I know this is a subject that you are passionate about and you are focused on, but what is something that you learned from these funeral homeowners?
Well, basically, I learned that they're affected too. This really shows that the opioid crisis touches us all in one way or another, because it's not only the families or the police officers or coroners that deal with these deaths on a frequent basis. It's also funeral home operators who are seeing families touched by these unnatural deaths so much more often than they used to, and they say that that's really difficult.
So when they are dealing with overdose after overdose or death after death because of opioids, I mean, how are they dealing with it?
The funeral home operators that I talked to said that it affects them emotionally. It's led to them fearing about their own children because they've begun to truly see how anyone can either fall victim to addiction or can overdose on a first try. So it's affected them by just making them take more precautions, including at Gluckert Funeral Home in Arlington Heights. The owner there has now begun to stock the overdose reversal drug naloxone.
And we're looking at some pictures of him right there holding that naloxone kit there. Did you ever think it was going to get to this point where a funeral home operator would say, okay, I have naloxone at my home here?
I think that was really surprising to learn, and I think readers will find that kind of a new fact as well. But what John Gluckert tells me is that he feels it's a precaution he needs to take because overdoses are so prevalent. About 2 years ago, for the funeral of one 21-year-old that his business hosted, the parents decided to host a training on how to use the reversal medication right there at the funeral home.
Wow.
And that was really the moment when he decided he needed to take precautions as well.
When it gets to that point, where even at the funeral of their loved one, they're trying to teach others how not to go down that path, that really says something.
Yes, this family from Schaumburg really took that step right away and has always wanted to help others after their son's death. They say their son wasn't addicted. They believe he used heroin for the first time and overdosed and died, and they don't want anyone else to have to go through that shock and that grief.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a tragic and really, really important story. Thank you so much for coming in to talk about it. And you can read this in today's Daily Herald or right now online at dailyherald.com.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC7 Chicago YouTube channel.